fall back in love with living. Romanticize your life. Figure out something that can bring you a little bit of joy during the day so that you aren't just living your day today, and you're actually getting somewhere, and that you're actually living rather than just surviving. And I keep thinking of that song, fall in love again and again, fall in love again and again. And it's literally all over my For You page. And it's just these beautiful scenes of mountains and hills and valleys and all of these beautiful things. And like, yo, I'm not stuck, but here I am in a very not mountain-esque town. And I think you really just have to have a mindset of falling back in love with your life. Not idolizing your life, not picture perfect your life, no. But I think letting things fall into place for you. And I think it's hard trying to find that spark again back of living, and trying to find that oomph of wanting to live again and wanting to do something that you actually love. And I think it's hard, especially when you are continually piled on with things that you're not really that interested in, but still trying to do it and excel at it and kind of still have that little spark within you when you don't have that spark anymore. And I think when you really think about it, and when it comes down to it, that this time is when you're learning how to do something well at something you don't like. And I think a quote that's really, really stuck with me is, find something that you enjoy and that you think and consider as play, that everybody else thinks is a job and that is hard. I mean, big picture, you can find so many things that you genuinely enjoy, and other people think it's the most boring thing of life that they have no interest in. For example, a friend of mine, she loves history and she's a biology major, and I'm like, more power to you. I appreciate the art of history and that other people like it, and I can appreciate that from afar, but that is not my thing. Biology nor is my thing. And I suggested to her, why don't you become an archaeologist? Don't know anything about archaeology, I just know it's a lot about nature, it's a lot about history. And she's like, yo, I never thought of that. And I'm like, yo, I know, cool, sick, right? I'm one of those people that would not want to become an archaeologist. I don't know about you, but that's a type of combining your passion with a specific background and finding that play that not many other people want to do. And I think when you don't even have to think about something as being a career or a lifetime job. I think it's most important of figuring out something that you enjoy and can combine with something that you're currently good at that you might not necessarily enjoy. Like my biochem professor, he was like, I asked him, I was like, was your undergrad in biochem or was it in chem? And he was like, it was in biochem, but I didn't really like the biology classes that I had to take to get that degree. And I'm like, okay, that's valid. Because I was like, was your work, because you said you worked with proteins, is that biochemistry, chemistry? And he was like, it's actually in chemistry with protein synthesis and like nanoparticles. And he said that he was like in nanomaterials and had different wiring and all types of things. And I think that when you can kind of piece together things that you don't like and you do like, and you can kind of create sometimes a job or a career. I mean, I'm really interested in the business aspect, as you guys know, and I just like that type of problem solving and real life applications, and that you can like see it quicker, and you can kind of have progress, and it's always constantly changing and evolving, and there's so much you can learn about everything. And then you can tie in traveling and languages and cultures and people, and I mean, it's so interesting because I could go on an entire tangent of why I think business is so interesting. And yeah, but I mean, not many people have the background of science to go along with their business degree, and I think I'm like really hoping I can pull off a business major in the couple of years that I have left. But regardless, I think that finding something that you can actually do proficiently combined with a hard skill, like literally a hard skill and a soft skill and a challenging skill, is gonna make you fall in love again and find your passion again and really help you start living again. Because when you get those sparks and those little bits of like, oh yeah, this is why I like this, and that creativity, then that's your reason why of falling back in love again with living. And I hope that turns back into thriving. I mean, you and I might be on completely different paths. Cool. I hope you are. I mean, I would hope no one else is like living the same life as a doppelganger of me, and I couldn't imagine that. But you know, literally it's so funny because I was like walking across the street and someone was like, hey, and I'm like, I didn't look, and then they're like, yo, do you live blank? And I'm like, I prefer not to say. This is like back in my internship, and they were like, I just asked because I see this like girl who looks like you, and I'm like, nope, I don't live there, but okay, I live blank. And he's like, okay, and I'm like, oh, I thought he was gonna be like creepy, you know. But regardless, I think when you kind of, I don't know, when you kind of reconfigure your life and have certain priorities set, is when you can kind of really live again. I mean, you guys saw how hard last year was. That was probably the hardest school year I've ever had, because just like internally, class load, I was literally taking organic chemistry with physics, with more physics, and then gen chem 2, or like quantitative chemistry 2, and that was probably the hardest thing I did. I can imagine like the people doing biochem, they had to take genetics as well and biostats. I would have been like, but whatever, that besides the point, so I'm not doing that. But I mean, you have to set certain boundaries with yourself, whether you're getting enough sleep, whether you're getting enough food, whether you're getting enough like socialization, and you're not just in your room after work or after school or after something. You have to do something for yourself. I mean, I live with like 4 other girls, and it's crazy, but they're all super chill and like super nice. And literally when I was making my lunch for tomorrow, they were just watching Dancing with the Stars, and we were all like talking about Dancing with the Stars, and it's so funny. And I mean, it is just maturing. I think it's really maturing. And not to say that I have everything figured out, because I obviously do not, and I need to start trying to live again and trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this, because I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And like literally I have my first analytical chemistry class or test this Thursday, and I just went through a practice test and I'm like, what am I doing? And then I'm like, I gotta do research tomorrow. I have to go meet with my advisor, then I have to go to this career fair, and then like I'm gonna like dress nice and then like have my resume out to see who I can meet, and then I have class at 12:30, and then I have to like go to practice after, and then I have to study for my analytical chem, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I have to like, I don't know, I'm just so thankful that my principles of management class got like canceled. It's not like an in-person class this week, but I'm just like, thank goodness. But anyways, I'm gonna have to like figure that out, and then probably get up early tomorrow, and then yeah, oy vey. But it's kind of like, c'est la vie, and then like a person I know, whenever I say that, they'd be like, love you. But yeah, anyways, going back, you kind of have to find laughter too. I mean, you can't be serious all the time. That's not fun. Being serious all the time is not fun, because you really just kind of lose that light. You have very much tunnel vision, and when you have tunnel vision, you can't see anything, you can't even remember anything, and when you add on top of that stress, it's hard. And I mean, the only reason why that I can say that is because I was so serious the past few years I've been in college of getting a 4.0. I wanted to get good grades, and I mean, almost achieved that, but like not. I mean, y'all know I got an A- in my principles of marketing class, and like I was like breaking out, but then I got humbled. But like, I believe in God, but like, you believe in whoever or whatnot, or don't believe in anything. But I knew my butt was humbled, and he was like, yo, Emma, you gotta chill out. You were getting good grades for not good intentions. Chill out, humble yourself. You're gonna get a 3.95 GPA or 3.9 GPA or whatever it was. And I was like, yeah, I got myself humbled. And then last semester, pulled through with the 4.0. Like, it really is, regardless at this point. But it doesn't matter what my GPA is at the end of the day. But like, what I'm trying to say is like, just chill out. I have to chill out all the time and like remind myself to like live. And I have to find ways to love life again. And I think that song of like falling back in love, or like falling back in love again, I don't know, whatever, it's like that TikTok trending sound song. And I think just trying to fall back in love again with living is so, oh, it's 12. Anyways, just trying to do that for myself, I think, and for yourself too, is so important, that we can fall back in with love, life, fall back in love with life again. Yes, tongue twister. And I mean, there's no other reason, and besides trying to live, I mean, you can go through life so hardcore, so stressed out, so beating yourself up. And what does that lead to? What does that lead to? Not joy, not fulfillment, not happiness. And I mean, honestly, to say this, and I say this now, is like, I think big picture, I would rather take a lower grade and live a little bit more and try to have a work-life balance, because the past few years that I've been doing this has not been a work-life balance. Like, literally, after swim season, I would get up 5:45, 6 o'clock every morning, go to the gym till 8, go to class at 9, study till, I could go to class till 9, go to my other class at 10, eat lunch, study, go to my 12:30, then go to my 1:20, study, practice, lift again, do some sort of like exercise, study, eat, study till like 10, 11, do that all over again. And like, I got good grades, but at the cost of my mental health, hardcore mental health and physical health. Like my physical health, like I was fine, but like my mental health was fried. I was so wound tight, and like I was not loving life. And I think just taking those past couple years, like even when I got a 4.0, I wasn't happy. I genuinely wasn't happy. I was like the most burnout I've been, the most stressed I've been, the most like unsatisfied I've ever been. And like grade wise, I should be happy I got a 4.0, but that does not reflect on like my human soul, my human being. It just said how much I studied, and I wasn't happy. And I think that was a big turnabout of like burnout during the summer, and why I'm really trying to do better this year. I mean, with experience comes wisdom. With wisdom comes more tools. And I mean, when you can have more tools for life, that can hopefully give you little hints, little cookie crumbs, little bits and pieces to tell you and show you how to live your life in a more fulfilling and meaningful way that you actually love. Not to say that is your situation, and not to say that you can do that as well, but I'm saying try something for yourself to fall back in love with life again. Because I say this now, and I don't know your situation, and I wish you could have this opportunity and this privilege to say this, but you have to do the things that you love to fall back in love with life again. I mean, whether it's going at a slower pace of life, whether it's going to do something fun on the weekend, if you have that opportunity, whether that's cooking yourself dinner, whether it's fill in the blank. I mean, things that genuinely fulfill you. I mean, I'm not doing anything like, oh my gosh, an hour of reading or something like I would like to. Like, I really don't have time to paint. I haven't painted my nails. Y'all know how I like to paint my nails, and I just haven't had the time to. But I mean, what I'm doing for myself is I'm not putting the pressure on myself to get things done. I mean, situationally, I don't have the homework to do that as I used to. But I mean, I'm not trying to like overgrind my mind. Like, I'm trying to take things a little slower, give myself more grace, not stress, and giving myself the pressure of trying to be perfect and trying to figure out the balls that can fall, that will bounce back. And I mean, time is what you need to allow yourself. Time is what you should give yourself to figure it out. I mean, you can't have everything perfect. You can't have everything figured out, but what you can figure out is what the small thing that you can do to live again. Whether it is going for a 5-minute walk, whether it is calling your loved one, whether it's calling your friend, whether it's going out to eat, buying yourself flowers, I don't know, fill in the blank. But you really have to. And it's scary, and it's hard, and it's daunting, and it's stressful when you change things up, and when you don't have a perfect schedule and you don't know what you're doing. I am here with you. I used to be a nutcase on a schedule, but my days do not look anything the same anymore, and I'm glad, because something new always happens, and another person I get to meet. Literally, oh my gosh. So today's Tuesday. I don't know when I'm posting this. Maybe it'll be Thursday, Friday, whatever. I have my classes at 7:45. And I was walking, and this guy was like, "Hi, where is like this building?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to that building." I wasn't. I had this other building in mind, like the gym. And he said like the same, like a similar abbreviation for it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm actually going this way." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm actually, thank you. Like, there's this like mystery hunt in this building." And I'm like, "Oh, you say that building?" And then I was like, "Yeah, go that way." And he's like, "Thanks." And I'm just saying, like, new things come about every single day. You have to let life take you somewhere new. And I think one of the most beneficial things that like has helped me fall in love with life again is not being so structured and type A, which is crazy for me to say. I'm very still type A, still. But I'm not like an A plus type of A person. I'm more of like an A minus type of A type personality, if you get what I'm saying. But hopefully I can become a B soon. But I mean, if you can let go of the reins, maybe some ray of sunshine could come about, and I don't know, give you a different warmth that you've never felt, another experience that you would have never imagined if you would have been on a very tight and rigid schedule. So I want to leave you with this little crumb, little cookie crumb, I guess. But I don't know, I want you to think about tomorrow, today, yesterday, what you did, what you have done today, and what you will do to try and to fall in love again with your life. Food for thought.